Guys, I think I fucked up trying to learn Arabic. Got a little bit too ambitious, okay? One positive thing that's happened to me after getting hacked into and not being able to access the internet for months is that I got really bored. So I started learning a couple different languages. And it turns out I really have a passion for this. I love doing this. It's really fun. I even love doing this more than cooking or working out or the other hobbies that I really enjoy doing. Now, I chose languages based on how many countries speak them. So that's the reason why I started out doing French, Russian, and Arabic. Now, I know you guys are thinking Spanish is very commonly spoken, and you're right, Spanish is very commonly spoken, but I chose not to go with Spanish for a couple of reasons. The first one being that Duolingo teaches Castilian Spanish, which is spoken in Spain, and it's totally different from the kind of Spanish that's spoken in Latin America. I wanted to learn Latin American Spanish, so I decided to delay my Spanish speaking lessons until I can find a better learning app. The second reason is that, living in Southern California, just about everybody speaks Spanish. So I wanted to try to learn a different language that not many people speak, not as many people speak, I should clarify. The third reason is that since Spanish and French are somewhat similar Latin-based languages, I didn't want to get the grammar rules or the spelling or anything confused with each other early on. So once I've mastered French, I'm gonna move on to Spanish. I will get on that train eventually. Well, I didn't realize how fucking hard Arabic is. According to my AI, it's apparently the #1 hardest language for both English speakers and Japanese speakers. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, well, how fucking hard can this be? Like an idiot.
This is the top 10 hardest languages to learn for English speakers. Number 2, Arabic. Do you agree with this list? Let me know in the comments. Number 1, Mandarin.
Well, Arabic humbled me real fast. I mean, this shit humbled the shit out of me. Here are a couple reasons why Arabic is so difficult. For starters, one letter can be written 4 different ways, depending on whether it's just a letter by itself, whether it starts at the beginning of a word, is in the middle of the word, or whether it ends in that letter. On top of that, writing Arabic, even on a keyboard, is next to impossible, because it's not phonetic at all. It's not phonetic, and the keyboard is not laid out like it would be on an English keyboard. Compare it with Russian, for example. With Russian, the keyboard is actually phonetic. Mostly phonetic, so it's fairly easy to write something. For example, if I wanted to write Меня зовут June, which is my name is June, you can just write M-E-N, and the ya, I guess, is over here. That's the only one, but Z-O-V-U-T. I can just write that where the English letters would be, and then J-U-N, and that would be Меня зовут June. So that's simple enough. I can mostly write out what I'm going to say on a keyboard if it's in Cyrillic. Or take writing on a Japanese keyboard, for example. Japanese, they also have a phonetic keyboard, and this makes writing significantly easier. For example, if I want to write French in Japanese, I can just write France. That's France. France in Japanese. So I would write go. So it's phonetic, I just write Furansogo. And then that turns it into Japanese. So that's pretty easy. But for Arabic, that's not the case. And for the longest time, because I was learning on Duolingo, for the longest time, I did not realize that you can actually spell a letter 4 different ways. So I was just staring for the longest time, trying to figure out how the fuck do I write this goddamn thing. There was one time I was trying to write the word hel in Arabic, which stands for is. Well, I was staring at this keyboard for the longest fucking time, and I was like, where the fuck is the H? Where the fuck is the H? I couldn't find it. And it took me fucking forever to find it. I was like, where the fuck is it? I was like trying a bunch of different letters. And then it wasn't until I wrote the L after it that I realized, oh shit, this actually changes because I guess it's different when you put it together with another letter. So I was like, oh, I see. But just imagine doing that for every single word. It's not really remotely feasible. At least not for me at this stage. I've been learning Arabic for like 2 months, by the way, on Duolingo. Second, there's a lot of characters that look really similar to each other. For example, look at this one. Mesel. Well, look at how similar this one looks and this one looks. Like, it's really similar. It's really hard to tell. And then there are some characters that look and sound very similar, but they're not the same. For example, Jeb versus Jeb. You have to have a very trained, precise ear to be able to hear the difference on those. And then there are also some sounds that don't exist in English that exist in Arabic. For example, if you want to write Arab, you would write it with a number 3 in English, like Arab. And when I first came across this, I was like, what the fuck is this number 3 or this number 2, and how the hell are you supposed to pronounce them? Look at how similar these characters are. I mean, I can barely tell the difference between these. And it's really hard to memorize how each of these are different. But each of these is actually pronounced completely differently. And on top of all that, The sentence structure, the order is completely different from both English and Japanese. For example, if I wanted to say, you are a very good Moroccan doctor in Arabic, you would say, أنت طبيب مغربي جيد جدا. So basically, this is saying, you, doctor, Moroccan, good, very. Like, that's what the sentence structure is like. The sentence structure is totally different. It's very, very new for me, so it takes me forever. It takes me significantly longer to translate a sentence from Arabic to English. And even to this day, I still have a really hard time trying to figure out what's the difference between saying this house is very spacious versus this is a very spacious house. You know, Duolingo doesn't do a great job of teaching you exactly the grammar foundation, so you kind of have to figure it out on your own. So even to this day, I'm still confused. I still don't really understand it. Maybe somebody can explain it to me. Here's another one where I can show you the sentence structure. This is هذا منزل واسع جدا. So this basically means this is a very spacious house, but it's actually saying this house, spacious, very. And here's something interesting. I recently learned from AI that if you have a musical background, you are actually significantly more likely to learn languages faster. Not only does musical ability help with language learning, it also helps you heighten your empathy. So people frequently say, what's the point in learning music? What's the point in learning art? That's why. It frequently helps you in other aspects of life that are necessary for success in life in general. So after only taking a couple of lessons a day on Duolingo for maybe 3 months for French and Russian, I discovered that I can actually have very basic conversations. And I switched to a different app. I switched to one called Lingo Talk, which I prefer much better than Duolingo. Duolingo is good for building a foundation, but once you've built the foundation, Lingo Talk is better because it helps you practice actual conversations. So here's an example where I'm learning French and speaking French.
Now, how would you ask for the menu in French?
Je voudrais le carte. Le carte.
Presque. It's la carte, not le carte. Try again. Excellent. Maintenant, disons quelque chose de plus croustillant. Le plat traditionnel français.
Le plat traditionnel français.
Fantastique. Quel plat traditionnel me conseilles-tu? Réponds en français. Allez.
Les plats traditionnels, j'aime et confit de canard.
Oui, j'aime le confit de canard, mais lequel me conseilles-tu? Sois plus précis. Ça veut dire, c'est mon endroit préféré pour manger. Répète après moi. C'est ma meilleure adresse. Tu es presque.
C'est ma meilleure adresse. Qu'est-ce qui est meilleur?
Meilleure signifie la plus bonne ou la préférée. Répète encore. Meilleure. Tu arrives?
Meilleur.
Très bien. Maintenant, comment dirais-tu où est le meilleur restaurant traditionnel?
Où est le meilleur restaurant traditionnel?
Maintenant, répète encore traditionnel. C'est presque parfait. Tu es sur la bonne lancée pour parler de tes plats préférés en français.
Mon plat préféré est français et traditionnel.
Mon préféré est le rock. Et tu aimes aussi la musique électronique?
Oui, j'aime la musique électronique aussi.
On dit plutôt j'aime la musique électronique. Tu as des artistes préférés en musique électronique?
Non. Non, j'ai joué de la musique classique au piano.
D'accord. Tu joues de la musique classique au piano. C'est très bien. Quel compositeur aimes-tu jouer?
J'ai joué la pièce pour le piano by, how do you say by? Debussy sur le piano.
Tu joues des pièces pour piano de Debussy? C'est magnifique. Et le piano est un instrument difficile?
And here's one where I'm having a basic conversation in Russian.
Комната и номер очень похожи. А как ты скажешь «я могу посмотреть номер»? Повтори. «Я могу посмотреть номер».
Я могу посмотреть номер. Что могу?
Отлично. А что, если ты хочешь спросить про удобства? Как ты скажешь «какие удобства здесь есть»? Повтори. «Какие удобства здесь есть»?
Что удобства? Удобства.
Почти. Скажи «какие удобства».
No,
Еще
what
разок.
is?
Какие удобства здесь есть?
No, I'm asking what is. Что удобства?
А, ты хочешь знать, что такое удобство? Это amenities, например, бассейн или Wi-Fi. Понятно? А теперь спроси, какие удобства здесь есть? А как ты скажешь, мне нужен номер с бассейном? Повтори, мне нужен номер с бассейном.
Okay, so from what I understand, мне нужен номер с бассейном. So I need a hotel or a room with something. What's бассейном? Что бассейном?
Бассейном это
Бассейном.
with a pool. Теперь скажи, мне нужен номер с бассейном. Еще разок.
Мне нужен номер с бассейном.
Супер. Повтори. Где здесь бассейн?
Где здесь бассейн? Where is the pool here? Got it.
Отлично. А как ты скажешь, у меня есть вопрос? Повтори. У меня есть вопрос.
У меня есть вопрос.
Правильно. А как ты спросишь, где здесь Wi-Fi? Повтори. Где здесь Wi-Fi?
Где здесь Wi-Fi?
Отлично. А как ты скажешь, мне нужен тихий номер? Повтори. Мне нужен тихий номер.
Мне нужен тихий номер. I need a quiet room.
Верно. А как ты скажешь, завтрак включен? Повтори. Завтрак включен.
Завтрак включен. Можете сказать включен на английский.
Конечно. Включен means included. А теперь спроси, завтрак включен?
Okay, so breakfast included is завтрак включен.
Почти. Скажи включен. Завтрак
Включен.
включен. Еще раз.
Завтрак включен.
Молодец. А как ты скажешь, мне нужен номер с двуспальной кроватью? Повтори. Мне нужен номер с двуспальной кроватью.
Мне нужен номер с двуспальной кроватью. I recognize I need a room with something bed. What is что двуспальной?
Двуспальный это double.
Double
Двуспальной
bed.
кроватью. Это double bed. Повтори. Двуспальной кроватью.
Двуспальной кроватью. But Arabic, totally different story. After a couple months of Duolingo, I can have basic conversations on Lingo Talk with an AI chatbot. But with Arabic, not even anywhere close to conversational. They start talking to me completely in Arabic, and I have no fucking clue what's going on. I'm like, whoa, slow down. You got to make it like at least 50% English. So Arabic, still a long way to go before it's conversational. It's totally way harder than French or Russian. Okay, let's see if I'm going to get this one right. God damn it! Okay, what about this one?
صد صب صد صب سد بس سد صب صد.
Come on, we gotta get a win in this. We gotta get a
Sod.
fucking win in this. I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. I mean, listen to how these sound. These sound totally... Like, can you hear the difference?
بس 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 صب 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 صب
Soup. Like, the difference is so minor. Alright, let's see if I'm gonna get this done.
جب.
God damn it.
هذا بيت واسع جدا. سد سد صد سد صد.
God damn it. I was looking for the longest time. Like, is it sub? Sub. See, this is what I mean. Arabic is actually really hard.
صاصة صب صب سد بس. هذه
Okay, this is heavy.
غالية.
No,
زيد.
that's
البناية البناية
البناية غالية.
غالية.
But again, what's the difference between saying this building is expensive and this expensive building? I have no clue.
هذا بيت
هذا بيت واسع جدا.
واسع جدا. حو حو خو حو خو حو خو حو.
I honestly don't know how I'm scoring an average of 96% on this. Yesterday was actually 97, but I guess my score dropped a little bit today. Is it just that this Duolingo Arabic course is incredibly hard for everybody else too, so this is graded on a learning curve? So guys, what language would you like me to hear me speak next?